Welcome you to meditation today. We're going to meditate on Vipassana,
Oh,
inside meditation, because today we're going to learn Vipassana uh, by following the Sutta, Nakula Pitu Sutta.
mm, mm. Okay. I
There,
muted everybody.
okay. Oh, sorry. Okay, we're going to practice Vipassana meditation. There are a few ways of practicing Vipassana. Vipassana meditation is the most unique meditation method in Buddhist teaching. The Samatha meditation, concentration, or mindfulness meditation, relaxation meditation, developing mind, the method to develop mind, mindfulness, awareness. There are many teachings in the Buddha's time, and even today, there are many ways of that mindfulness practice. But the Vipassana practice developed inside wisdom is the one and only way and method is come from Buddhist teaching. This Vipassana meditation practices especially focus to understand the reality and true nature of sentient beings and all matter in this world and everything. Vipassana meditation is awakening us, enlighten us to reality. This Vipassana meditation helps and remove the ignorance. Ignorance is the main reason for existence. Ignorance is the main reason to all kind of trouble and suffering. We know dependent origination. Paticca samuppada begins. Avidya paccaya sankhara depends on ignorance. Volitional formations arise. That's how they begin samsara. Then vipassana, the ignorance, ignorance, not knowing is the reason cause of continue this whole mass of suffering. Then vipassana meditation helps us to understand the reality, true nature. By understanding this true nature, awakening ourselves to being enlightened, and we dispel that ignorance and open our mind and wisdom to reality. Then we get free from all kind of bonds, all kinds of attachment, all kinds of ill will and ignorance. Um, we're going to practice vipassana by following five aggregates, panchaskandha. Panchaskandha, five aggregates, is the sentient being. Five aggregates are the sentient beings. Whatever we call I or we, you, this is all about five aggregates. Whatever we call him, she, or it, or that, whatever it is all about five aggregates or one of these aggregates. Then we're going to understand what is this five aggregates really is. Okay, simply we focus this physical body form, including this eyes, ears, nose, tongue, body, and we're going to what is the reality of these eyes? What is the reality of these ears? What is the reality of this nose, tongue, and this whole body? Reality is it is arising and keep decaying, growing without stopping. It's keep growing every moment. Every moment, it's keep growing like a river, a a flowing river. These ears, eyes, ears, nose, tongue, body is arising and decaying. Finally, will disappear. Eyes will disappear. Ears will disappear. Nose, tongue, this body will disappear. Then what is the reality of this form? Is impermanent. Impermanence is the reality. Temporariness is the reality. This is the reality. No matter whatever we, no matter how much we love this body, we attach to this body. The reality of this body is impermanence and temporary. We cannot keep these eyes forever. We cannot keep these ears forever. We cannot keep this nose, tongue, and body forever. We cannot ask eyes to not to change, not to decay, not to die, not to disappear. We cannot ask. We can ask, but it doesn't respond. We cannot keep our eyes, ears, nose, tongue, and body whatever we want, whatever we like, whatever we wish, we cannot keep it. It is out of control. Its reality of this whole body, including eyes, ears, nose, tongue, is impermanence. This is the reality. Impermanence, temporary, arising, existing, with changing, and will disappear. Then this form, this body is not mine. This is not mine. We can say temporary it is mine, but it is not mine forever. It is not mine. And even this is not I. This form is not I. Why it is not I? Because it will die. It will disappear. Then how can I say this form is the I? If there are, and it is not my self, it is not myself, or it is not my soul, because it is not exist forever. This body will disappear, will die. Then there are no eternal entity. Then it is this form is selfless. The same way, and we're going to practice step by step other aggregates, and I will guide you for that. And gently you may close your eyes and keep your back straight. Take deep breath and slowly let go and be relaxed. Listening to this bell and relax into the sound. Now you may think about your eyes, your ears, nose, tongue, and the body. And you may try to understand the reality of these sense bases and this whole physical body and meditate. This is impermanence. Eyes are impermanence, temporary, and will disappear, never going to exist. And ears are impermanent, temporary, and will disappear. Eyes are not mine. Eyes are not I or myself. And other sense bases and whole physical form are impermanent, temporary, and will disappear. This form is not mine, or this form is not I. It is not I because it does not exist forever. This form is temporary and will disappear. This is not myself. And keep contemplating, meditating again and again to understand reality, this form. Now you may think about any form had in the past or the word, the form this moment we have, and any form will have in the future, subtle or gross, supreme or lower, nearby or far away. Whatever form are impermanent, whatever we had, we have, and will have, gross or subtle, supreme or low, nearby or far away. These all forms are impermanent, temporary, and will disappear. Not mine or I or myself. Now we're going to meditate on feeling, Vedana. Feelings come through the eyes when we see the forms. Feelings come through the ears when we hear the sounds. Feelings come through the nose, tongue, and body. Pleasant or unpleasant feelings or neutral feelings. Whatever feelings arise comes through these sense spaces are impermanent, temporary, and will disappear. Whatever pleasant feeling, happy feeling arise, it is impermanent, temporary, and will disappear. Nothing to clinging, nothing to craving, nothing to attach. Whatever feeling we had in the past is gone, no more, was impermanent. Whatever feeling we experience this moment and will have in future, whatever feeling, internal or external, gross or subtle, supreme or lower, all are impermanent, temporary, and will disappear. It is not, feelings are not mine. Feelings are not I. Feelings are not myself. Feelings are impermanent, temporary, and will disappear, never exist. You may be awakened to reality of the feelings, whatever feelings, pleasant or unpleasant or neutral, we experience. The reality of these feelings are impermanence, temporary, rising and disappearing, not permanent, never exist forever. The feelings arising and disappearing. No matter how much we love, we craving, we desire, we attach, or we hate, these old feelings are impermanent, temporary, will disappear. Feelings are not mine. It is not mine because will disappear. It is not I because will disappear. It's not myself because will disappear. Feelings are impermanent, temporary, arising and disappearing. Impermanent, impermanence, unsatisfactory and selfless. It is unsatisfactory because it is impermanence. It is selfless because impermanence and unsatisfactory. And not permanent. Feelings are impermanent and selfless. Now let's meditate on perception. It is called sanya. Sanya. Sanya means recognitions. Our memories. You recognize me because it is your perception. We recognize your family members. You still have memory whatever you have learned. You still have the memory about the feelings you had, you desired, or you hated. You hate unpleasant feelings you had. These all perceptions, the reality of these perceptions are impermanent. Impermanent. These perceptions are temporary and will disappear. The perceptions we had our previous life is gone. We have the perception now we have in this life and we craving, attached, clinging, hate, these all memories are impermanent, temporary and will disappear. These perceptions, sanya, not mine, or I, or myself. These perception memories, impermanence, unsatisfactory, and selfless, rising and disappearing, rising and disappearing, rising and disappearing. All the memories you have for yourself and your family members, loved ones, and the other ones, whoever you hate. These all memories, pleasant, unpleasant, past, present, and future. The perceptions, internal or external, gross or subtle, supreme or lower, nearby or forever, whatever these perceptions, memories are impermanent, temporary, and will disappear. Impermanence and selfless. Now just let's meditate on the Sankhara, volitions, or Chetana. Chetana means the thoughts, thoughts with intentions, intentional thoughts, volitions, actions, actions do by the physical body, of physical, verbal, or mental. Actions including with results, karma. This all sankhara, volitions, volitional formations, are impermanent, temporary, and will disappear. This all sankharas, volitions, we had was impermanence. And I have are impermanence and will have is impermanence. The whatever Sankhara of volitions, internal or external, subtle or gross, supreme or low, are impermanent, unsatisfactory and non-self. It is because impermanence, arising, disappearing. Volitions arising, disappearing. Volitions are not mine. Volitions are not I. Volitions are not myself because it is impermanent, arising and disappearing. Now, let's meditate on vijnana, consciousness. Consciousness, mind, or knowingness. Consciousness means knowingness. Whatever comes through the eyes and get to know by the consciousness. Whatever come through the ears and get to know by the consciousness. The consciousness arises in the eyes, in the ears, in the nose, in the tongue and body. This knowingness, consciousness, arise is impermanence, temporary, arising and quickly disappearing, arising and passing, arising and passing. Is impermanence, temporary, and will disappear. Consciousness is not permanent. Consciousness is not permanent. It is impermanent, arising and disappearing. Then consciousness, whatever we had in the past, is gone, died. Whatever arises this moment and will and passing, right away, arising and passing. Whatever consciousness will arise and will pass, it is impermanent. It is not I, or mine or my self. It is because impermanent and will disappear. It's not permanent or eternal. When eyes meet the forms, the consciousness arises. When ears meet the sound, consciousness arises. Whatever consciousness arises and passing will pass, temporary, selfless. But consciousness exists because of clinging, grasping, desiring, and craving. Then it's hang on whatever comes through these sense bases. But this consciousness is impermanent, rising and passing, temporary, selfless. Whatever consciousness you had in the morning before the meditation is gone. Whatever consciousness arose yesterday in the past is gone. Whatever consciousness arises this moment and today and tomorrow will pass, will disappear. It's not I, it's not mine, and it's not myself because it will disappear. Selfless. So why we craving, clinging, grasping? It is because ignorance. We think this is I, this is mine and myself. These five aggregates together we call a being, sentient being, man, human, animal. Whatever we call tree, house, building, earth, moon, whatever it is, impermanent, temporary, rising and disappearing. Not I, mine, or myself. Now you may listen in the bell and slowly open your eyes and stretch out yourself. Then rub your shoulders and your face, head, neck, and your thighs, knees, and calves. Take a break. If you have any question, ask. Did you enjoy the meditation?
Yes, I feel very peaceful.
Yeah. Yeah, of course. You guys, let's see. Chat.
This is the most wonderful meditation practice. This is the most wonderful meditation practice. We have to meditate, meditate, like practicing on breath, right? And to develop mindfulness, awareness, uh, and we meditate to understand this reality and true nature, and it's then it will be clear. It will be very clear. Um, then we meditate. We develop this knowledge, this understanding, awakening. We develop awakening. We enlighten ourselves, and we dispelling ignorance by meditating. One day it will be clear. When it will be clear, then you will be enlightened being. Okay, let's go to the. Okay, did I think you have read the sutta? This is the sutta come from connected discourses, Sangyutta Nikaya. Sangyutta Nikaya, connected discourses. The sutta called Nakula Pitu Sutta, father of the Nakula. Father of the Nakula. Mm. This sutta come from the connected discourses, a chapter of aggregates. Chapter of the aggregates. And Buddha was living in this, this Nakul actually was living in the Sunsumara Giri. Uh, there's a Bagga is a kind of a place, a big place like county um, area, Bagga. And Buddha was living in that Bagga. And Nakula also, actually Nakula was living in the Bagga. That's where his house located, in that area, county Bagga. And Buddha visited there. And in that Bhagga, in that area, there was a certain place called Sunsumaragiri. Okay, Sunsumaragiri. And also there was in that nearby that Sunsumaragiri there was a forest, little forest called Besakala forest. That forest was dedicated to the deers, not hunting, not authorized to kill any animals in there. Okay, and then Nakula, Nakula's father came to see Buddha. Buddha was visiting there, and he came to see Buddha and respected to the Buddha, bowed to the Buddha, venerated, and sat down to one side and just had the great cordial talk each other. Then he said to the Buddha, Nakula, the father of the Nakula said to the Buddha, Bhante, I am very old now. I'm very old now. Aham asmi Bhante Jinnu. I'm old. Uh, Vuddhu. I'm a senior. Now I'm senior. Elderly one. Mahallako, elderly one. I'm now older. Elderly one. Addhagatu. I'm, this means my lifespan also already gone and came to the end of the life. I'm now end of the life, nearby the end of the life. And then Aturakayo, many illness now I have. Many illness arise. As a young person like you okay. But when you become old and so many difficulties arise, headache, backache, hand ache, legs pain, right? So many pains. Also, Buddha, these all pains arose to the Buddha. And we all face into many physical difficulty. Especially physically, we get more difficult pain in the elder when we older. And he said, so many illness arise. Uh, Abhikana Tanko, I'm already the my last stage of life, last stage of life. So Bante, now I'm not able to come very often. I'm not come I'm not able to come often to you and often see monks, see bhikkhus. I'm very rare now see bhikkhus. I think mostly he's staying home, right? Maybe he have to take into what's that called stick help to walk cane,
Yeah.
cane.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe we holding a cane to go. Now he's will rarely come to see monks and Buddha. So Bante, just give me some teaching and make me very happy. And the teaching keep me happy and peaceful and very beneficial, very helpful to my life. Give me some teaching. That's what his request. Then Buddha said, Aturo hayang kayo. Yes, householder. Yes, this body is full of illness. It is very full of illness. It is, this body is like that. That's true, right? That's true. That's what it is. Mm. Andabhuto and Parionaddu, this physical body is covered by the very tiny, very soft skin, right? This physical body covered by the very soft skin.
Mhm.
Well, we keep applying cream and we keep very clean and we protect and we love this. And this body covered by the very tiny, very soft skin. Then when we grow in old, it's all become decay and very weak, then many illness arise. This is very natural. This is the reality. This is true. But if someone say, even a moment, I'm healthy, it is his ignorance. It is his ignorance, nothing else. If someone say a moment I am healthy, it is his ignorance. It is his ignorance, nothing else. Because it's something here is something wrong always, right? We hungry. That's our illness. We thirsty. That's our illness. Whatever it is. This simply is Buddha say this physical body is getting sick. It's very easy to get sick. It is full of illness. Okay. But you should practice this way. What the this household ask Buddha? I'm very rarely come to see you now, not able to come very often, you and bhikkhus. Then Bhante teach me something, stay with me very long time for my own benefits, make me happy. Not only this life, even my next life. What is my next life also make happy and keep me safe and beneficial for my uh, journey. And Buddha said, okay, this body is like that. That's true. It's full of illness and covered by soft skin, very impermanent thing. But you should train like this. No matter whatever happened to the body, but I keep my mind healthy. Keep mind healthy, right? We cannot uh, keep our body not to get ill or sick. We cannot stay away from it. We can escape from illness, right? Illness is already here, right? Um,
Okay.
then we can't escape the illness. We can't escape this old age. We can't escape, right? I'm not sure in future if someone going to find out something for stay young forever, right? If someone get to able to find something to stay healthy forever, um, we don't know it is possible, but I don't think because there are nothing anything permanent. These things come from the stories, right? About God's stories in the ancient something can some kind of drink and food. When we eat or drink them, we stay forever, live forever, without aging, without ailing, right? It's called in Pali and Sanskrit amurta in Sanskrit. In Pali, it's called amata, amurta. In the Greek mythology also have that kind of, right? In the Greek mythology have that kind of drink and food. In Indian mythology also do have that. It's come from the mythology. It's not reality, not yet reality. Really have we have that. Um, then Buddha said to this father, when you get sick, just accept it. That's okay. That's very natural. But don't let your mind to get sick. Don't let your mind to get sick or worry about it. right? Don't be worried about it. If you worry when you get sick, if you worry about that sickness, then you have a two pain. One is physical, the other one is mental, right? Then you physically ill and mentally ill too. You mentally ill because you not accept this physical body is covered by the very thin skin. Easily get sick and age old, right? And break. This building built by the concrete, right? But this have warranty, guarantee, right? Never going to exist forever. That's why some buildings uh, remove some bridges in the Manhattan, very huge bridge, like Brooklyn Bridge, some bridge in that Queens, right? Have a guarantee. They're going to exist forever. That very strong material thing, not like this muscles and bones. This is not a very strong thing, very breakable, right? Even when we touch something, it's going to crack, going to get blood out, lot of pain. Then if you not medicate, and it's going to be worst, and you're going to die by that wound, right? Germs come through in it. Worms could be rise from it. This is very uh, soft things, not very strong. But that is strong bridges and these buildings is also impermanent and will disappear temporarily. What about the body? Then just accept this body can get sick. Anything can happen to eyes, anything can happen to ears, anything can happen to any parts of the body. When you get something wrong and just accept it, then you physically pain, that's okay, but you're not mentally not pain. You're mentally okay because you accept, because you meditate. This body is impermanent, 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 temporary, temporary, temporary. It is not mine. It is out of control. It is not I or myself, right? Then whatever pain, it's no matter it's pleasant or unpleasant, painful or comfortable, impermanent. Just accept. Bear the pain. Bear the pain. Right? We have to bear the pain. In the Sabbasava Sutta, it's the sutta about all taints. The taints arise if we not able to bear the pain, if we not able to bear the uh, difficulty, or even we attach to the pleasant feeling. Um, no matter whatever that pain, even it's going to kill me, but I still have to accept this is the pain. This is okay. It's happened to body, but I'm not going to worry about that. I'm not going to hate. I'm not going to get angry. I'm not going to get upset. I'm not going to worry. This is hard, right? Not easy. It is hard, but we can practice,
Yes,
right?
you can try.
Yeah. And Buddha said in that Sabbasa Sutta, um, that pain is could be a katukana, a tibbana, karana, jivita harana. That pain could be very painful, very difficult, or not able to bear. It's unbearable. It's going to kill me, lose my life. That kind of pain I still bear. I'm going to die with that, but not making mind upset. No matter I'm going to die this, but I still okay with that because I accept it is impermanent, right? If we, when the pain is very pleasant, very comfortable, and we crave it so much, right? We want it again and again. If the pain very
Yes.
comfortable, right? This father of the Nakula, another time when he see the Buddha in his very young age, when he see the Buddha, no, not very old, and he asked another question, the other time, other situation, Bante, and let me know why some people not able to attain to Nibbana in this very life. Why some people not able to attain to Nibbana in this very life? Why some will attain to Nibbana this very life? What's the reason? Some of them attain to Nibbana, some of them not. What's the reason? It's a good question, right?
Yes.
What do you think, Michael?
Yes.
It's a good question.
Of course.
And then the Buddha Buddha explained him why some people not able to attain to Nibbana or become enlightened, awakening in this life, because when they see something, when they see something, right? When they see something, if that form, we see the forms through the eyes. When we see the forms, if the forms is likable, desirable, agreeable, right? If the form is very happy to see, it's likable, desirable, agreeable, and also pleasant. The forms is pleasant, rousing, and we want to see it again and again, again and again. Then we crave into it, right? We crave into it. We desire into it. When we desire into it, it means we grasp it, we cling into it, like you cling into your wife, right? Like you cling into your husband, like you cling into your daughters, your sons, right? Your mothers and fathers, your brothers and sisters, your friends, whatever things in your house you keep with you, and whatever forms come through the eyes, it is likable, desirable, agreeable, then we desire into it and we grasping it. Until we keep this grasping, clinging, it's called upadana, and we're not able to attain to enlightenment, right? That's the reason. That's the reason not able to attain to nibbana in this very life, because we whatever see it is likable, desirable, agreeable, then we grasp it. I want it. I want it. Until we have this upadana grasping, not uh, allowed to attain to nibbana, which keep us. The reason to attain to nibbana, whatever come through the eyes, we not clinging to it. We're not attached to it. We're not craving to it. We're not grasping to it. It is hard. But if you could do that, and we attain to Nibbana in this very life, right? Whatever come through the ears, whatever come through the nose, whatever come through the tongue, whatever come through this physical body, whatever come into the mind, if it is likable, desirable, agreeable, or rousing, and if we cling in craving, then we stay, continue, continue birth and death, continue birth and death. But if we not grasp, if we not clinging, and we make the end of the existence and attain to nibbana, that's the Buddha's answer that time to him. But here, and Buddha said, it is okay. This body ailing, will be ailing, painful, get sick, but keep your mind. keep your mind not sick. And Buddha left. That's what Buddha gave. Very brief teaching. Very brief teaching. Actually, then Buddha left. Uh, this Nakula's father, um, came to see the Sariputta. Came to see the Sariputta, and Sariputta saw him and asked him, Your face is so. You looks very happy. You looks very happy. What's the reason? Did you get any teaching from the Buddha?" And he said, "Yes, yes, I got a teaching from the Buddha." And that's the teaching of the Buddha, um, and anointed me with the things whatever support not to die, right? Buddha gave me something not to die. It's called term for that ambrosia. No, ambrosia. Yeah, ambrosia, deathless. Buddha gave me something deathless, ambrosia, and anointed me with that his teaching. That's why I'm so happy. And Sariputta asked, "What he taught you?" And then he said, um, "Yeah, it is okay. This body is ailing, get sick. It is very normal, but keep your mind healthy." I was happy. Then Sariputta asked, "Did you ask how could I keep my mind healthy?" And he said, "Oh, I couldn't ask him. I couldn't ask him." And Buddha didn't explain, and he just briefly taught me and left. Bante, just please teach me. I would love to hear that. I want to learn it. How could I keep my mind healthy? When this body gets sick, how could I keep my mind healthy? Bante, teach me. I uh, begged you to teach me this. Then Sariputta taught the father of the Nakula the way of how keep mind healthy when body gets sick. That's what is actually we practice today. Okay. There's some very ordinary people like us, ordinary, we are not very ordinary. We are somewhat good, right? We are not very ordinary. You know who is the very ordinary? Very, very ordinary means Putujjana. Putujjana is these are the Putujjana. Okay, keep in your mind. We are not ordinary. These are the ordinary people who Asutva never listen teaching like this. Never listening teaching whatever we listening. Never learned like whatever we learned now. Asutva never heard about these things. Asutva Putujjanu never heard ordinary person. Ariana Ngadasavi never have seen Buddha or Buddha's disciples. Never have the Buddha, he's the teacher. Buddha's disciples, the monks, are teaching these things. And he never heard, even he never have seen Buddha and his disciples. And he's never skilled about this teaching to practice it. Never got to practice these things, right? But you got to practice already, right? You practice already. You practice. Then you Putujjana? Are you very ordinary? You think so? You're not very ordinary. You have no idea. Now you know what it is this. What I am, you know now. You now enlightened somewhat. You have knowledge. You have idea. But some people completely do not know this teaching, never heard, never seen, and never practiced. And they are the very ordinary. Then you are very lucky, okay? You're almost to enlighten. Keep practicing. Mm. Sariputta says this kind of very ordinary person never have seen noble ones, and never have heard noble teaching, never practiced noble, never trained these noble teachings. Then whatever he think this physical form is my self. This physical form is the self, right? This physical form is the self. I think that's why in the Egypt, in the pyramids, they keep their body. Even today we can see, right? 1,000 years old physical body in the Egypt. They thought they're going to go a next life with that body. They keep all the golds, gems with that, right? All the um, treasurer with those people, right? And some of them they still believe and they will rise again. How could they stay burst? How could they burst? And they're going to rise again one day, right? These are very ordinary. That's ordinary people think this form is I or myself. Myself is in the form or form in the self and self in the form. Form as self, self as form. You got it? Form as self, self as form. Form in the self or self in the form. And when they think that way and they believe that way, then what happened? Then something happened to form. Form going to change. This form going to become decay. When form become decay, get sick, get ill, and now he become upset. Why it has happened to me? It's not supposed to happen to me because this is I, this is myself, and he get very upset when something happened to him, right? Then don't worry when anything happened to your body, okay? If you lose one of your eye today, don't worry about that. When you lose one of ear you today, don't worry about that. It could be happen. When you're going to your heart going to stop, don't worry about that. It could be happen. Okay, right? Because this form is uh, not I or myself. It is impermanence. But that ordinary people think this form is as I, form as self, self as form, form in the self, self in the form. But when the form get changed, decay, convert to another way, and break leg or hand or something, and they what happened? They sorrowing. Soka parideva dukkha domana supayasa uppajjanti. Then arise sorrowing, sorrow arise. When something happened to body, sorrow arise. And he lamentating, start to lament. Oh, something happened to my body, it's not supposed to be happen, it's not supposed to happen, but something happened to my body, then he lament, right? Are you lamenting? Do you lament when something happened to you? We are worried sometimes, but we have to be learn this. It's not we don't want to get sick by mentally. Physically we get okay and lamenting and dukkha and we experience pain when something happened and then worrying. domanas, worrying, upayas, and become distressed, become distressed, become distressed, stressful. But the person who has learned this teaching, having seen the noble ones, he's the training, these teachings, practicing, very skillful. Now he got this is impermanent, arising and disappearing, temporary, out of control. When something happened to this out of control thing, why being worried? Why become sad? Why become suffering? Why become stressed? Just accept. This is the noble ones, the way of noble ones. Then, when physically he ill but mentally he healthy, right? You got it. Um, I know one of the devotee in Sri Lanka, Sri Lankan devotee, very old woman. She very love. She loves us. She love. She come every day temple, observing precept, the poor day, full moon day, practicing. But she become very old, and then when they got sick, she got a lot of problems, physically ailing, and she lost. She didn't be very mindful, and she was complaining, "Why I get sick? Why I get sick? I come to temple every day, keep offering my dedicated my life to build the temple. I very love Buddha, Dhamma teaching, and love Sangha monks. I offer a lot of money. The offered. Why I get sick? Why I get sick?" Was upset. Don't be like that. She came to temple and she did her dedicated, her donated a lot, did, but she never get the essence of the teaching, essence of the teaching, right? Even Buddha got sick. We know that very clear, right? We know Buddha got sick. And Buddha taught sickness is unescapable, unavoidable, right? Buddha said that. Then when we get sick, why worry? Huh? Physically could physically we could get sick, ill, but mentally stay healthy, okay? Determine, determine, right?
Yeah.
Determine.
There's no such thing as not getting sick, right? We're sick already. This is what the Buddha taught, that none of us are well because the state of wellness is the state of nibbana. And until you reach it, you're not well. But it's inevitable. It sounds to me, I've heard this, the story that you told, Bhante, about the woman. I've heard that story. I see that story in my life so many times. It's like, I was a good person. Why is this happening to me? It's like making a bargain. You're not making a bargain. There's no bargain. You know, you're going to get sick. You're going to die. That's me. Bhante, a friend of mine this morning sent me an email because I told him that I couldn't visit him until the end of August. And he said that he was, well, his story is that he had cancer 20 years ago, and it was very, very bad. And because it was very, very bad, they did extreme therapy for him with radiation and chemotherapy, but really high level extreme. And as a result of the therapy, his face deteriorates. In other words, it's like having radiation sickness. his bones become softer and softer and softer and softer. And now it's critical. And he told me that he thinks that he might die within 2 months because of the, because it's become almost impossible for him to eat. And he's afraid that the next surgery will not be possible. So
He's not
so I'll
able to
probably,
walk. He's not able to walk. His
he can walk okay, but it's his face one day.
face, just only face.
Problem is his face.
I see.
And so I'm going to probably go visit him, but he's not Buddhist, but he's very courageous, but he's not Buddhist. So I guess if I talk to him about the Buddha, it might not be so helpful, but I don't know. Sometimes I just don't know.
If you're not comfortable hearing that, don't say it.
No, this is true. Yeah, we all, we identify with so many things. He identifies with his body. So he says if he really looks bad because of surgery, he doesn't want to live anymore. That's because he identifies himself with his body, right?
Right.
So I have other friends who have a lot of trouble with feeling. They feel depressed and anxious and very, very unhappy about many things, the state of the world, their children, all kinds of things. And I want to say, it's because you're identifying with these feelings. These feelings come and go. Let go of them. But people can't do that so easily.
We need a practice, actually. We need a lot of practice.
Yeah.
Practice and practice and practice. Practice
This,
make progress. And
this is, yeah.
yeah, once the Buddha's teaching to the five ascetics, first five ascetics,
Yes.
and Buddha taught them, and Buddha asked them, "What do you think, monks? This form, this body, permanent or impermanent?" And they said, "It is impermanent, sir." And Buddha asked, "What is impermanent? It is uh, uh, pleasant to unpleasant." And they say it is unpleasant, sir. And Buddha asked, "What is impermanent and unpleasant? Then do you think, and temporary, do you think it is I, or it is possible to say it is mine? It is possible to say, supposed to say it is I or myself?" And they said, "No." Then
Uh,
Buddha said, if there are permanent entity of this body, if there are a permanent entity of this body not supposed to change. This body, it is there must be possibility, keep this body according to my idea, don't change, stay this way.
yeah.
Um, uh, is called Yasmachako Bhikkave Rupang Anicca Tasma Rupang Abadaya Sangvatati. This is impermanent. That's why this get in trouble. This form get in trouble because it is impermanent. Abadaya Sangvatati. Nacha labbati rupe रूपम में होतु रूप एवं में रूपं होतु एवं में रूपं मा होसी. Stay this form according to what I want, what I desire, and what I wish, and not supposed to be what not I like, what I now don't want. We cannot keep that way. Then the why we worry is because we think this is under control, this is I or my or myself or something like that. And we have to completely accept this is out of control. This is not I or mine. This is not myself. Then That's why it's become change and it is out of control. Then why worry? Not supposed to worry. Same thing about the feelings. Same thing about the feelings. Feelings,
Mm.
pleasant or unpleasant or neutral, rising and disappearing, out of control.
Yeah.
Then feelings also selfless, not I
Mm.
or mine, because we can control it. It's arising, disappearing, arising and disappearing. It is impermanent. It is impermanent. Then
Yeah.
it is impermanent. And Buddha got all pleasant and unpleasant feeling, right? Buddha also
Mm.
had the pleasant and unpleasant feeling,
Mm.
and just accept it. Buddha got a wound and got an operation,
That's it.
got a back pain, got the blood diarrhea, and Buddha passed
Mm.
away because of that back diarrhea was very worse.
Yeah.
And then he got a pain, and he also pleasant. He didn't hate to painful feeling and didn't attach to pleasant feeling.
Mm.
Um, but the ordinary people, very ordinary people, doesn't learn this kind of teaching, never heard, never practice, and
Mm.
they think they attach to feeling, clinging to feeling, and think feeling is I and mine and myself, and they think feeling as self and self as feeling,
Mm.
and feeling in the self and self in the feeling. And I
Mm.
think this whole feeling is I, mine, mine, mine,
Mm.
myself, myself, myself. That's why when feeling become changed, they become upset. And whatever feeling, and just accept, let it come and let it go. Don't
Mm.
attach, don't grasp, don't cling into it. Right? That's the problem is change, not changing of the feeling. The problem is
Clean.
attaching to
That's,
it.
yeah. Oh, wow. Thank you, Bhante. Yeah.
The same thing about perception, sanya, and memory about the feeling we had. We even cling into the memories about the feelings we had, we have now. It's called sanya. We think sanya as self, self as sanya, and the sanya in the self and self in the sanya. This sanya recognition is I, and mine, mine. This sanya, it's not sanya, is impermanent, arising and disappearing, arising and disappearing. It is selfless. Therefore, we cannot control it. It is not under control. It is arising and disappearing, passing, and um, then we're not supposed to think this perception or recognitions uh, we recognize this is my mom, this is my dad, this is my son and daughter, this is my house and my thing, whatever this is all memories, recognitions, and not I or mine or myself. It is not a self, self not in it, or it is not in self, right? It is impermanent, arising and passing, disappearing, and then whatever it is, perceptions, selfless, and stay healthy. The same thing about the volitional formations, actions we did, and we will do. The old volitional actions, karma, also impermanent, and the this karma is not self. Self is not in the karma. Karma is not in the self. Self is not the karma. Karma is not the self, and it is impermanent, arising and passing away. Right? Then this karma, whatever we do, that's why some people say, I did this, I did this, I did this, and they attach to what they did. Whatever good things they did, they attach to that good things, right? If you did good, actually you have to be happy about that, right? That's good thing. But if you did something wrong, you're not supposed to worry about that again and again. It's make your mind upset and let you recover yourself and to be good. Then stop worrying and determine not to do that bad things. But some people even clinging and hanging on whatever they done. That's why some people say, I did you, I did you this like you, I did you this good things to you. You forget me, you forget this all things, but I did good things to you, right? Parents say to their children, right? Children say to their parents, well, you all forget what I have done to you, right? Some people say, temple forget me. I did whatever I did to temple to the monks. Bante, you forget I donated you. You forget you didn't mention that, right? Then some people complain to the monks when they have a ceremonies, not mention them and not praising, admiring, and telling in the presence, in the public, what they have done. That's a good thing, actually. We can be happy about that. This is a self, it's a self. Because we think this is volitional formations I, and we think I is the volitional formation. Volitional formation as self, self as volitional formation, volitional formation in the self, self in the volitional formation. That's why we so much attached to these volitional formations. And Jesus also says in the Bible, if you give by your right hand, don't let know the left hand. Right? That's a good teaching. You see, and do it secretly.
Oh, that's so true.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes,
There's
right.
the Bible says, "Don't let it be known to other hand," because it is sad.
Yeah.
It is volitions.
Mm,
Some people is very generous, very kind, very good, but because they
mm,
want to show others to this is not something else. But this good, being good, is always good, no matter who people know or not, or consider about it or not, admire or not.
mm,
But being good is good. Okay. The consciousness, the same thing. Consciousness. The
mm,
ignorant person never learned Dhamma, never seen and haven't seen a monks, noble ones, never practiced trained, very ordinary person, think consciousness as self, self as consciousness, consciousness in the self, self in the consciousness.
mm, mm,
But this consciousness is subject to change. When the
mm.
consciousness is changed and they become upset and worry,
Yeah.
and they
Yes.
and they doesn't understand, they don't understand impermanence. This is impermanent,
Mm,
arising and passing away. This is not a one and only consciousness. In the second, thousand consciousness arise in the second and passing away.
mm,
Like the monkey running on the trees, holding a branch, and when the left let leave the branch of the right hand
mm,
and hanging the other branch on the left hand, and leave the
mm,
left hand and hold another branch by the right hand. Consciousness is like that. It's,
mm,
it's going, when we see something and consciousness grasp it. When you hear something and consciousness grasp it. When you smell something, nose consciousness grasp it. When we taste something, the tongue consciousness grasp it. When we touch something and body consciousness grasp it. When something come to in mind and mind consciousness grasp it. But this all consciousness rising and passing, rising and passing. Not only one same thing. The consciousness arising like this candle. It's already gone, the flame. the candle, the flame of the candle is keep burning. It is because of the wick and the wax.
Mm.
Wick and the wax. That's why flame is exist. Consciousness exists because we given a fuel. We given nutrients to the consciousness exist. We
Mhm.
given wax. We given a wick to
Mm.
flame the consciousness.
Mm.
What is that? The nutrients to the consciousness is thinking, this form,
Good.
feeling,
Mhm.
perceptions, this all thing as self, aggregates as self in the aggregates, consider as I and mine and myself. We don't consider impermanent and
Mm.
selfless. When we consider that, when we understand that, no matter whatever happened, no clinging, no grasping, no hating. Dispel the ignorance, become awakening, and get free, not clinging, grasping, and attain to enlightenment. That's our dream. One day become,
Uh,
right? Then the flame, then the consciousness going to cease. Wax, when the wax end, finished,
mm.
wicks already burn out, then
Mhm.
flame, no anything to hang on, right? No wax, no wick. Then flame going to disappear. When the consciousness, not anything to hang on, because we not consider this
Mm.
form, feelings, anything as I or mine or self, not grasp on it, not hold on it, not depend on it on them, then the
Mm.
consciousness is going to release, release, not any power to exist. And Buddha said, Seti Bhuta Bhavisati, become cooled and cease and will disappear. Any questions?
Mm. Bhante, you'll have to give us a quiz. You have to give us a test. See how
Test.
much a test. Yes.
Michael,
What? Well, you don't
nice.
have any questions, so you must be getting 100.
Well, no, we're still thinking.
Excuse
Oh,
me.
you're thinking. Oh, thinking is good.
Okay, still processing.
Thinking is, yeah.
Excuse me. Wait, I'm having a question. Okay, go ahead, Washington.
But, oh,
Mm. Mm-hmm. Mm. 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 Mm.
mm,
Mm. 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 Right. Yes, it is possible. Some monks has released the grasping before they die. Uh, Even they kill themselves and they die. Before they die, they let the grasping go and they attain to nibbana. But
mm,
it's needed some practice. it depends. Now if you could exactly and clearly let the go and not grasping anything, you're gonna die now, but you're not going to hang in on anything. You're good.
Mm.
Then definitely you will attain to nibbana if you could do that, right? Yeah.
Mm.
Mm, yeah. What did you say, Michael?
No, nothing. I said that if nobody has any questions, we should have a test.
Oh,
You should give a test. I'm only kidding, of course.
yeah. Just let's try.
No test. Anyway,
Okay.
okay.
Okay. Then if you know not any questions, we're going to end up this session. Okay, by practicing meditation, listening and discussing Dhamma, learning Dhamma, we accumulated these good merits. We're going to share these merits with our departed ones, ancestors, and with ghosts, with gods, with all sentient beings, with our family members. May they all be born in the happy destination, and by the power of these merits, by the blessings of the Buddha, Dhamma, and Sangha, you may live healthy, happily, and peacefully without any afflictions. And finally, may we all be able to attain to Nibbana. Akasattha Chibummattha Deva Naga Mahidika Punyantang Anumoditva Chirang Rakkantu Sasanang Chirang Rakkantu Desanang Chirang Rakkantu Mang Parang Sabbhitiyo Vivajjantu Sabbarogo Vinasatu Mate Bhavatmantarayo Sukhi Digayuko Bhavatu Sabba Mangalang Rakkantu Sabba Devata Sabba Buddhan Bhavena Sabba Dhamman Bhavena Sabba Sanghan Bhavena Sada Sutti Bhavantu Te. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
Sadhu. Thank you, Bhante.
Thank you,
Thank
Bhante.
you,
Thank
Bante.
you.
Okay.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you, Master Support.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank
Thank
you.
you,
See you next
Bhante.
time.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
You.
See you soon. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Okay,
Thank you.
Master.
So
Thank
wait.
you, Bante.
I'm going
Thank
to
you,
end now.
Michael.
Okay.
Thank you. See